This comment says, my pup will whine the whole time I'm gone at work, and if she's in a different room, she'll tear up the door and scream bark. I've tried so many things and none are working. Do you have any advice? So, with this presentation of behaviors, I would be concerned about separation anxiety or isolation distress, which refer to a phobia of being alone. So, this is severe panic when left alone. And there can be different presentations of this. So, clinical separation anxiety refers to when a dog cannot be left. They panic if they are not with their specific person. All the other presentations, for example, dogs who are fine as long as someone is there, for example, that falls under isolation distress. But in both cases, the dog is often experiencing severe levels of panic when home alone. And this is detrimental not only to their behavioral health, but also their emotional health and their physical health. And it's incredibly challenging for the human as well. It can be very difficult, if not impossible, to make any progress on this type of behavior without putting solid management around it, because we are trying to convince the dog that they are safe home alone. And if through that process they are continuing to be left alone and panicking, it is often unlikely that we will see success in helping them learn to tolerate or even be comfortable, which is the goal, being home alone. The good news is that there are specialists who this is what they do day in and day out. Certified separation anxiety trainers are the ones to see regarding separation anxiety. This work is very detailed, very specific, and it is a desensitization protocol. One of the most challenging pieces is often the management, ensuring that the dog is not left home alone. Sometimes we're bringing in family or friends, or we're boarding the dog, or we're sending them to daycare, or having them stay at the vet. We're seeing if a neighbor can hang out with them. We're hiring pet sitters. Dogs with separation anxiety often also have confinement anxiety, so generally we want to stay away from confinement like crates, closed doors. Although every dog is going to be a bit different, they may not have confinement anxiety, or their definition of confinement may be varied. A certified separation anxiety trainer can help someone break down the criteria more finely than they thought possible. So we put management around this behavior so the dog isn't continuing to be panicked. Those negative associations aren't getting stronger and stronger. The dog isn't trigger stacking up. Because when dogs are experiencing that panic on a regular basis, they're not getting a chance to go back down to a baseline. That can take hours, if not days. And so we can actually see that these dogs become quite dysregulated chronically because their stress levels are consistently higher than ideal. And separation anxiety is often comorbid with other concerns like sound sensitivity. But a certified separation anxiety trainer can help break down that criteria. So it's things like standing up and touching the doorknob and sitting back down. And they can help walk the person through the process in such a way that the dog is staying under threshold. And you build up to seconds, minutes, hours. This is a medical concern, and so often behavior medication is part of this work. And for some dogs, we may be able to manage the absences with event medication. And so while not ideal management, because ideally we would just be suspending the absences entirely, sometimes what is more feasible is to use event medication to keep the dog, if not comfortable, at least below a full panic. Because certified separation anxiety trainers are so good at what they do, I tend to refer my clients suffering from separation anxiety to a CSAT, and then we work collaboratively. There are some really great accounts on here that you can follow for certified separation anxiety trainer knowledge, and I will tag some of them below. Separation anxiety, I think, is one of the more emotionally taxing behavior concerns to work with because it impacts every moment of the human's life. There's a lot of planning around the dog's needs, and it is a lot of work. So connecting with other people who can relate to what one is going through with separation anxiety can be really essential to keeping that emotional cup full.